Hello, everyone. Welcome back to How to Trade. I'm Shane Vernier, and this is NFP Live. Today, we've got the first jobs report of 2025. I'm excited. I'm waiting to see exactly what we're going to be doing for the next couple of months. And why I say that is because, remember, when we get the first NFP reading of the year, what's the biggest thing that they do in this report? They adjust the way that they measure jobs. They did it last year. We saw a couple of skewed numbers right off the bat. And then as the year went on, we saw a ton of revisions. I am fascinated to see this report. I want to dig into the guts of this thing. I want to take a look exactly how we're going to be measuring unemployment. I want to see how we're measuring new jobs throughout 2025. I think it's absolutely imperative that we understand exactly what we're in for the coming year, because it's going to be a big year. We've got a transfer of power here in the United States. We got wildfires in California. We have a lot of things going on, and that's to put it lightly. So I want to welcome everybody back in the trading room. Good to see everybody. Dibble, good to see you. JC, always a pleasure. We got a lot going on here. Let's get right out to price action. The first thing I want to cover is this trade idea that we put out a couple days back. I really like this one. At this point, we didn't get the big washout we were looking for underneath 2024's low, and now we got a bit of a retracement, but we're still there. We're still alive and kicking in price. We had a pretty good we had a pretty good move to the bear earlier today. That low was right down there around 75, and it just seems like the bidders are dug in, and I'm not sure that we're going to get our follow through down to 55. So if you're active in this trade and you're still thinking that you want to play it going into NFP, number one, understand that this is high risk stuff. That would be our profit target down there. Our stop loss, where would it be? You got a couple of options here. You could keep it right there at 56.10, or you could scratch it right now. I think that this trade, it's 50-50, guys. This thing could go either way. For me right now, if you haven't already taken a little bit of money off of this one and you're at break even going into NFP, it might be a good time to get out. Not because I don't know what way the market's going to go. I have no clue which way this Kiwi is going to move. We may get the break, we may get a reversal, but listen, the spreads are going to go crazy and the slippage is going to be a big deal. We've got to understand that once this number drops, everything's going to go crazy. So we may in fact get chopped out before a big reversal. I'm going to have to leave that up to the traders as far as our recording and our documentation purposes. We're going to go ahead and let this thing roll. Personally, I think it's a coin flip right now. I have no idea if it's going to hit its profit target. We should have hit it back there, and when that didn't happen, that should have been a clue that there are bidders under there. I think it's just fascinating stuff. Let me see. Kirsty T. Hey, Shane. Kit 8. Good to see you, Kit. Welcome. Wow, that's going way back. Great to see you. Glad you're back checking out some of the live streams. VJ, good to see you, VJ. Always a pleasure. The Elliott Wave Master. So we've got a lot of old friends in the room today. That's fantastic stuff. As far as what else we were looking at, Bitcoin. Bitcoin was big. Now, we put out a trade idea last night for Bitcoin. Remember market closure yesterday, I really said about the only game open is going to be your crypto markets. That was an interesting type of a move. We didn't get the retracement we're looking for just yet. We may, though, but I'm watching this like a hawk. 4-hour Bitcoin chart. Now, things are going to go crazy here on this NFP report, but right there, you can see we were almost in oversold territory. We were almost beneath that 30 on the RSI, which would have been the signal to be taking a buy. I hate to do this because everybody points and says, Shane, you're not following your strategy. It's not my strategy. It's a strategy. I'm going to make an executive decision. If I get a price close up above here, I think that I'm going to look to buy this thing once the 9 crosses the 13, or excuse me, once the 5. The 5's already over the 8. Once it crosses over the 13, or excuse me, once price settles above the 13, it looks like our 5's going to cross over that as well. I'm going to send them long just because Bitcoin's bullish and I don't want to get cheated. Stop loss is going to be right there. Sometimes you have to make an executive decision. I think it's a pretty good time to get long. Could be completely wrong. Definitely a calculated risk. So let's see. How are you? Universal, good to see you. Ben Kitchen, always a pleasure. Bryn98, good to see you. Lita, always a pleasure. Bobby Australian. All right, we got a crew in here today. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to look at a few trade ideas. I got something a little bit different planned during the release. We're going to talk about the revisions, all the different data points that we need to hit, but we're going to be looking at gold futures. I don't know if anybody in here trades gold futures. We always look at spot gold. I'll give you the technicals for that, but also we're going to actually do some high impact scalping of gold futures. That's a market that I target personally. Crude oil, gold, in one of the indices on a given day. I like the US 30 right now, the YM futures. But we're going to look at a futures contract, and then we're also going to have a Euro USD 920 crossover on a 1-minute chart because, well, we need to get some action. All right, we got about 5 minutes left to the release. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few other things that we need to see before we see this big number drop. I'm excited, guys. This is a red letter day. I am curious to see where the state of employment is. Okay, remember, if you need to trade, Switch Markets is probably your destination if you're an international fan. If you're here in the United States, Oanda is definitely worth a look. But Switch, they're running all sorts of bonuses right now, 100% bonus, $2 a lot cash back, iPhone 16 giveaway. Definitely worth looking at if you are interested in getting live in the markets very, very soon. In any case, this is a good look at our economic release. This is the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the actual release. I'm going to be immediately, once this number drops, just throw it in the live chat because we're going to be trading. But definitely this last paragraph is what I want to see. I want to see right there. I want to see the revisions. We had upward revisions on the last report. Will we get downward revisions here? I think it's possible. And then there's going to be a box in here just like this. And it's going to talk about how they're going to make adjustments, how the jobs are counted for 2025. And I am fascinated. I'm absolutely fascinated. I think it's going to be a great release. And I think we're going to make a few ticks here. We're going to do some tick hunting. I always like to do a little bit of tick hunting, tick scalping. That's sort of what I do. Gold right here. Long-term levels are key. I don't ever want to lose the forest for the trees. Right now we're working on an inside month. And what an inside candle is, we've talked a lot about those on our live streams. Typically it's a breakout. It's a breakout level, or excuse me, it's a breakout zone because you've got a compressed market. The way markets move, they move, then they rotate, they find an area of fair value, they get compressed, and then they move again. Typically, that's very much how gold moves. Now, we saw sort of some compression down in here. Then we got the big break. You saw a compressed bar and inside month right there back in June, and then you got a big break. So the question is this bearish, sort of this bearish sentiment since the election, is it over or not? I don't know. We put a trade idea out for a washout underneath last month's low. We didn't get it. It looks like we're going to take a break above last month's high. I'm not convinced yet that we're going to break out, but you got to have these numbers on your radar. So put them on your chart, 27, 26, 18. That's a big point. I mean, we're either going to see a big break over that, a big washout of retail shorts, or you're going to see a failed auction with sellers step right back in. I really don't know. As far as where this thing's going. That's the first level I would look at. Second one's all-time highs up there at 27.91. Now, we'll deal with those when we get there. Now, as far as your shorter time frames, I would go to my daily first. What do I want to do here? Well, I mean, you got a pretty good 4-day winning streak. You have a hammer there. We had a hammer coming really out of the gate on, let's see, what that last Friday, Monday, Friday, whatever. Right there, spike low to a spike high. That would be fantastic. So maybe a pullback right down there from 26.57, still about $20 off the pace. I got to be honest with you. I'm going to be looking at ultra short terms with gold. I'm not going to get married to any of these technicals because I don't really like any of them, but I am watching 27, 26. If a person wanted to step up and get an opportunity maybe to sell up there, maybe 27, 25-ish, you got a chance right in front of that 26 zone. I think you could probably get away with that, but it could be very, very hard. Let me see, JV, $3,000. Is that the goal today? All right, let's make $3,000. Let's see. Magla, good to see you. Let me see. Belcom, it's a buy setup. Universal is 2,700 level, a good resistance for gold. I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't. I don't want to be short gold yet, but I will play a washout under last month's low. Pray for the LA fire victims. Absolutely. It's been horrific what's happened in the LA Valley the last couple of days. Clearly there's arson. Could be a terrorist attack. I'm leaning towards terrorist attacks. I think that's a very real possibility because the fires are sprouting up and there's no reason for it. That's one of the market drivers that could send this market gold very, very high. Very high. All right, guys, we're going to give you the whirlwind here. U.S. non-farm payrolls. Here's what we expect January 2025. NFP previous 227,000, epic number last month. Projected 164. The unemployment rate is at 4.2%. I'm always watching the unemployment rate. Now, remember, NFP, how does it impact the Forex? Above expectations is going to be bullish for the USD. Expect strength. Below expectations is going to be bearish. Right now, we're on the fence. I believe we're going to get a relatively strong number here. We've seen a lot of that this week. I'm not sure, though. We just got to dig in and wait. As far as what do we have here with the NFP impacting equities and commodities? What does that mean? It's the opposite. If we get a real hot NFP number, that's going to be a drag on equities. And if it's below expectations, that's going to be a boost for equities. Right now, we're not expecting a rate cut, an interest rate cut, until we get probably to June, May or June, something like that. I don't know. We're coming into a real serious time in the markets, and I think that we're going to make some money. I'm convinced of that, but it's going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride because there's a lot going on. New Trump administration, new NFP figures. Lord only knows where we're going to be this time next week. I can't wait. Full disclosure, I'm going to be going guns up next week. That's when I'm going to start getting involved. I'm in the futures market with a little bit of meaning. We've done some trading, finished the year pretty well, but it wasn't great. It really wasn't great. So I'm going to be watching relatively closely. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on this gold futures. We're going to focus on gold futures right now. You can see we're getting some good movement, pretty good, decent market depth. It's not great, but right here we're going to be taking a look at this. Also, Euro USD 1-minute chart. We've got the 920 crossover. A lot of people really love this strategy. Euro USD 1-minute. 920 crossover with RSI confirmation, and that's going to be the name of the game for us short term. And then I'm going to go around the horn and sort of look at other markets to see exactly what's developing. I'm very okay. Here we go. What was the number? Okay, there's our big drop right there. So the Euro USD instantly, we're going to be in oversold territory. So we're going to monitor that. That's going to take some time. That's going to take a little bit of time to set up. Let's go to gold. What happened to gold? What's the number? Does anybody have the number? Number. 256,000. That's another big number, boy. That's another big number and extremely hawkish. That suggests that you're going to get rates longer for higher. We've said that immediately. And immediately, our U.S. indices are off about 0.75%. That's epic. So right now, what do we want to do? In my mind, if I'm trading 1-minute gold futures, relatively simple. Now, it's going to take probably another 2 minutes for this thing to set up. I'm immediately looking to sell. I'm looking to sell Fibonacci retracements, 4.1% unemployment. So unemployment fell, and you had another epic read. Man, that is an epic print on the US NFP number. I'm not necessarily certain where the hell they're getting these numbers at, but that screams that the rates are going to stay higher longer. There's officially no pressure on the United States Federal Reserve to cut interest rates to try to fight a lagging jobs market. I'm not necessarily certain where we go from here, but I will tell you this. I wouldn't want to be an equities bull. I wouldn't want to be long equities anymore, and I think that that's definitely becoming evident. Right here, you can start to see we're pushing down. What exactly? You're right. Emmanuel, good to see you. What do we got here? Okay, so there you go. Our Kiwi hit its number. I told you it was extremely high risk. We're going to chalk it up as a winner just because we had a good stop loss. Definitely a bullish move. Does the dollar index go to 110? That's the question. Take a look at this. This is fantastic stuff. Bitcoin's coming off in a big way. We sort of had a Bitcoin buy potentially. We don't have it now. That's the big reversal, the number we were looking for. What do we have in gold? Okay, right here. This is exactly a long-term level I would be watching for later in the day. Right there, maybe early Monday, 38% Fibonacci retracement of this daily range. That's beautiful right there, 26.57. I'd be looking at probably 26.58s. Step up buy, maybe 26.58 and a quarter. It's about $11 down there. It can happen. And if it happens today, that's a high probability setup. Much higher probability than these 1-minute trades that we're going to look at right now. Okay, there's our range. So what we need to do when we're trading Fibonacci's, spike high, spike low with a meaningful range. And this is how we're going to stock it. Just like this, we're going to go over to our orders. We're going to be looking to sell. We're going to have a sell limit order. We're going to go ahead. We're going to rock probably 3 lots. That's going to be $30 a tick. And as far as our take profit and our stop loss, we're going to go ahead and monitor this. I'm going to manage these trades in front of you live, and we're going to see what happens. Now, the real question is where do we sell from? Where's our number at? Right here, we're locked in about 26.95. I love it. It's about 50 ticks higher. If we get a chance to sell, we want it. We really want it right now because that fundamental suggests that gold's going much lower. Now, it could reverse. 100% it could reverse. But if we get a shot right now where our volume, look at the volume, bang, bang, and now it's dropping off. If we get this market to settle and get really a premium trade location with the prevailing trend, I mean, we could be looking at, seriously, right now, gold futures are flat. They're flat on the day. You got to think we're going not just a little bit lower, but a lot lower. The real question for us is how do we get decent trade location that gives us an opportunity potentially to trade this market? That's what we all want to know. That's for sure. So I'm watching this relatively closely to scalp that Fibonacci. I don't know that we're going to get it. We still don't have a bottom set up. So I'm going to have to just sort of bounce around to these markets. But I will say that this is what we want to do. We want to be short. Shane, can you just sell short at market right now? Nah, you don't want to do that because we're going to get a bounce. The question is when. And I know when it bounces, if the proper mechanics are there, if our proper range is intact, this is setting up to be a really sweet short. So I'm liking that a lot. Let's go to the Euro USD, 920. Okay, this is beautiful right here. We're severely in oversold territory. This one's going to take a while to base out. And so while it's basing out, we're probably going to be looking at other markets. Let's see. I want to trade a 5813 And I want to look at a 5-8-13 potentially on a 30, probably a 5-minute equities chart. But let's go ahead and take a look at the hard figures out of US NFP right now. This is sort of the release right there. January 10th, that's today. There's a lot going on today. I think that we have an opportunity potentially to make a few bucks. Just let me line up this 5-8-13 for what we want to do right here, because I think we're going to have a decent trade. That's going to come later, though. It's going to come on the U.S. Open. We'll be back here in a little while to trade 10-minute trading strategy blitz. We're going to be doing that. But definitely you're going to be wanting to read this stuff because the devil's always in the details, and something like this could be very, very instructive for us moving forward. Revision of seasonally adjusted household survey data. I said this last year. This is what I want to see. How are they going to measure NFP for the rest of the year? How are they going to do it? Seasonally adjusted household survey data have been revised using updated seasonal adjustment factors, yada, yada, yada. Procedure done at seasonally adjusted estimates back to January 2020 were subject to revision. So they revised all your NFP numbers for the past 4 years back to what? COVID. All right, we got to get in the game here. Limit sell. I want to go limit sell right there. I want to go 26.93.5, 26.93.5, and that's where we're going to send them. All right, there's our trade. We're dialed in right there at 38%. If we get an opportunity here, I think we're going to have a legitimate chance. Now, what am I looking for in this trade? If it gives me 5 to 10 ticks right away, I'm taking it. I'm not taking a position on a 1-minute chart. But if we get an opportunity, we're not going to wait around either. If we get hit here and wind up in a sweep, I'm not going to let this bleed very long, probably no longer than a minute. Maybe we could go down to even a tighter time frame. Okay, right there's a break against us. We're going to have to wait just a second. Okay, right now we're down to break even. Now, do we get the follow through right there? Okay, that's what we're looking for right there. We're going to go ahead and flatten this thing, and that's a nice sweet 450 if in fact we can get out. All right, there's our trade. So absolutely beautiful execution, guys. That's high impact scalping. That right there. You say, Shane, why you trade? Why are you still here since 2011? That right there makes me happy. Now, what did we do? All we did was just take the money. We saw the price action. We understood what the market was likely to do. We understood that the volume was there, and it was hot. We stepped in. We placed the trade. Did we take a draw? Yeah, we took a little bit of a draw, 94.7. What did we take, a 9-tick draw there? That's life. You're gonna be in and out, but right there, that's good stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's take a look at exactly what we have here. All right, ignore that. But what was our history? The trade that we just put. Remember, these are demo dollars, but something like this. Where are we at? Account history. 600 right there. Bam. Comex Gold. Good trade. As far as this goes, I don't even know what the heck that is. We must be short or long somewhere. But right there, that's the one we want. 600, 110. That's a beautiful trade, guys. Absolutely love it. Remember, demo dollars, but I will be brutally honest with you. A 3-lot, I've been known to trade 4s, 5s, and 6s on gold. That's a nice little trade. And that one, if you watch a million YouTube videos and everybody says make $1,000 in 5 seconds. Well, you can't always do it. Right there, you could. And another thing, if you were still riding this 1 minute market structure, you also crushed the back of the golden zone for another scalp. That's high impact scalping. That's tick scalping in a nutshell. All right, let's move on. Let's see if we can make a little bit more. Okay, right here. Now, this one's starting to come our way a little bit. We got a 1-minute chart here. We've got the Euro USD. We've got the really just a fantastic, the 9 cross the 20. We're in oversold territory. What are we waiting for right now? A lot of you have seen the video. That's why a lot of you guys are in the live chat here in the YouTube channel. That right there, you get that crossover, bang. What are we looking for? 9 to cross the 20 now. I want to buy. Why? Because I believe there's going to be a retracement. Is the bottom end for the US dollar right now? Or excuse me, the Euro USD is the top end for the US dollar? It is very, very possible. It's very possible. So I'm watching that relatively closely. I think we get that crossover potentially a little bit later today. I'm probably going to adjust my time frame. I'm going to let this 1 minute go just because we've got our hard bottom in, our swing low. But you can manage this with a 1 minute. More than likely, as the session wears on, we're going to be looking at something like a 5 minute just because we just need more bars. So the question would become, would you sell a Fibonacci here? It's tough trading these real short time frames on Forex pairs just because the market's so big and you don't get the chance to get in on that elasticity like you do on something like gold futures. You just don't. Remember our gold key level, though, coming up, 26.57. That right there is probably going to be a trade idea coming our way. I would say either later today, and if not today, Monday. I really, really like that, and I think we got an opportunity to hit that. All right, so let's go back and hit our report. Sorry about that. Hey, that's the way scalping is, though. If you're going to trade these events, boy, you need to be thinking in about 10 different ways at once. It can be hard, but just compartmentalize. Everybody here can do it. Everybody here can do it. Okay, so the revision's huge. So remember, the way that we measure employment data in 2025 is going to be different than 2024. It's also, they're going to revise all the way back to 2020. Okay? What does that mean? It means the last 4 years of data can be revised. Now, this is going to be important because the comparisons between the jobs numbers from the previous administration, the Biden-Harris administration, and the new Trump-Vance administration, all the media is going to do is do that, and they're going to paint you a picture that the economy is poor. They are. We're going to go from having a great economy right now, which was what everybody pretty much says, strong jobs, good growth, all this. You're going to have that. And then we're going to switch gears, and we're going to be moving into that probably in 2 weeks. And you're going to start hearing, at least probably by the end of Q1, how the economy is lagging. And I want everybody to be ready for that because it can really send stocks down. That sentiment is going to shift to bearish, and it's going to be a time of change. That means that the bull market we've seen since 2020 after COVID is probably going to pull back a little bit. Now, be ready for it because when it pulls back, we're going to get great entry to the long. We'll make some investment decisions here in the next 24 months. But for traders, we're going to have an opportunity maybe to sell the tops of these markets, these equities markets. That's going to give us a real chance to be successful throughout the year. So if we understand that, that's something to keep in your head. If you're a brand new trader and don't know what I'm talking about, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Tune into a few live streams, ask some questions, maybe do a little bit of supplemental reading. But that's trading. Think ahead. Think forward. It's absolutely imperative that we do that. Okay, what do I want to see? The change in total non-farm payroll employment for October was revised up by 7,000 from 36 to 43. The change for November was revised down by 15 from 227 to 212. With these revisions, employment in October and November is 8,000 lower than previously reported. Okay, now the question is, did those revisions come as a result of this seasonally adjusted data? They just said seasonally adjusted estimates back to January 2020 were subject to revision. Did they just revise those numbers according to the new rules? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. I guess what I'm saying, guys, is trade price action during these events. Understand what the market's going to do. Understand how these NFP numbers impact price action. But as soon as the number drops, all bets are off because right now, even from a fundamental standpoint, I would love to sit down with a Wharton's professor in economics and say, okay, if you're going to revise these things every year, and then you're going to, the way that you take the metrics in, and then you're going to go back and revise estimates for the past 4 years, and then you're going to go back and adjust what we just were reported, how does anybody know what's going on? And the answer is they don't. It's all talking points. As traders, it's up to us to identify how the market interprets these numbers. We don't care about the numbers themselves. There you go. That's a crash course in NFP, and it's the honest-to-God truth. These numbers mean very little until we see a COVID type of a number where everybody's unemployed. Unless we see that, it's all media talking points. Don't get fooled. Don't trade the headlines. Total non-farm payroll employment increased by 256 in December, and the unemployment rate changed little at 4.1%. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today employment trended up in healthcare, government, and social assistance. Later today, we're going to do a 10-minute trading blitz. At the end of that 10-minute trading blitz, I'm going to go through and I'll unpack exactly where these jobs were. And I got a feeling that most of them were in the government sector. That's going to change. Remember Musk, Ramaswamy, the Doge Committee, they're going to cut government spending supposedly in an unprecedented fashion. That's going to impact these job numbers in a big way. Guys, we're setting up for a big bear run here in stocks, and I don't really see much of any way around it. All right, here we go, US 500. This is the 5-8-13 strategy. I believe we're going to have a video out. I may actually make this one next. I don't know. I got a lot of demand for this strategy. It's a triple moving average crossover strategy. We sort of did some examples in that YouTube video, but I really like the live applications of this, and I think we have a chance maybe to build something that's pretty tasty that a lot of you guys can jump in and just use. Typically on the triple moving average, I don't necessarily lean on RSI confirmation, but boy, it can be powerful. It can be a powerful tool. I like the RSI momentum oscillator because it's easy. Beneath 30s, oversold. We're looking to buy. Above 70s, overbought. We're looking to sell. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. It is easy. Right now, we're in oversold territory. We're looking to buy. In order to buy, Our shortest time frame, our 5 EMA, has to cross over our middle EMA, our 8. The 5 crosses over the 8. That's our signal. That's our trigger bar. We're looking to buy, but we can't buy just yet. Price has to be above all 3. That 13 EMA is the backbone. I got this question a lot on the YouTube channel. They said, Shane, why do you even need the 13 EMA? Just wait till the 5 crosses the 8 and trade it. And I said, yeah, but the 13, think of the 13 as your foundation. Your 13 tells you which way the market is moving. It gives you broader market sentiment. And that's what this is all about, is understanding, yeah, the 13, okay, price is beneath the 13. Well, then the market's probably still a little heavy. When price breaks above the 13 and the 5 crosses the 8, what do we know? We know short-term price action is bullish, and we know that the trend is changing. Throw in some RSI, meaning the aggregate market may be oversold a little bit. You got a pretty good trade. So I would be looking at that relatively closely. I think you got a pretty good chance. Let me see right there. RH Knight, Shane, you live or paper trading? These are paper dollars here, but I'm live trading as well. And we're going to do some of that very, very soon. Remember this, when you watch my streams, this TradingView DOM, this TradingView DOM that I bring up, that's fake money. That's paper money. That's paper trading. I have another, I'm not going to tell you my broker because I don't want anybody really looking into my affairs that closely. When you see another colored DOM, which is going to be like a gray, and it's going to be right where these are, it's going to be right over here, that's going to be my live account. I've done that in the past quite a bit. They're in the back office, they don't really like me doing that too much, but we're going to start doing it because it's important that you guys see exactly what's possible in this game and understand that when you watch somebody on YouTube say, I just made $200,000 last year, here's how I did it, and they say they made it in 8 trades, it's certainly possible. But as retail traders, I can tell you that you don't have enough money yet to do that. You don't. If you were trading $500,000 and you made $200,000 in a year, I'd say, yeah, that's completely doable. As traders, most of us are sitting here probably with $5,000 tops, $2,500, $500, or we're trading prop accounts. The sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. But just remember, taking small profits like we just took, I mean, yeah, it was a $450 or what was it, a $600 trade, whatever it was. 3 lots. We took a pretty good risk there. It's okay. Think about it. You don't have to have much money to make that trade. You really don't. 10,000, 5,000. That'd be a little bit heavy for 5,000, but probably 10,000. You could do it easy with that. And on a prop account, if you're trading prop, you could easily be trading blocks of 5s and 10 lots on something like gold futures or even spot gold. So remember, you don't always have to hit those 10x home runs to make a living in the markets. A lot of times, if you just get in on price action and look to capitalize on what's happening in front of us, we can make a little bit of money. I think this is another good example. I'm sort of running my mouth, and there's no real reason to. You can see right there what happened to the gold, our gold market. Bang, bounce, took us out, went up. You had a great scalp there, but now you're just rolling. If you tried to take a position right there, you lost. That's the bottom line. Now, what's going on right now? E-mini S&P 500 futures, 1-minute chart. I can tell you right now that it paid off. 38% did. Let's go to a 5-minute. What do we got on the 5 now? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Spike high. %, right there, 59.11.50. What do you guys think, bullish or bearish? I mean, there was a trade. High right there was 59.14. What did you take? 3-point draw, 12-tick draw. Let's take this right down to a 1 minute and see exactly what happened with this trade. Okay, right there, bang, bang. I probably would have waited for this right here. I wouldn't have traded this initial block just because the market was way too active right after NFP. But once you got this action here and then you pulled back, that was a challenging trade. You were in it probably for 4 minutes. That's the S&P 500, though. That always takes a while to trade. The E-mini S&P always takes a long time to trade. Those trades take a while, and it's because the market's so big. It really is. So a lot going on there. Let me see. RH Knight, Calvin, the powerful Calvin in the room. I bet you're killing gold. I've had a lot of fun trading gold the last few months, Calvin. It's been a lot of fun. Let me see. I got a few questions here, and then we're going to go ahead and call it. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Let me see. Los, anybody got a result of the forecast today? Is it good or bad for the market? It's going to be bad for your stocks. It's going to be bad for risk assets. Jobs came in high. That's going to be a real challenge for the Fed to even think about. Well, they don't have to do anything. they could actually start thinking about raising interest rates if inflation comes in high. We'll be covering CPI Live for you too. Let me see right here, Calvin, $10,000 personal account, $50K in prop for me. How to trade, Shane, all good. Absolutely, Calvin, always great. Always great to see old friends drop in, folks that are still in the market that know how to trade and do it very well. Everybody, if you're just starting out, remember that the learning curve, it can take everybody a while to get to where they need to be. And always remember that if you want to be a professional trader, I highly recommend just starting out supplementing your income. View trading as a stream of income. So you got your job, you got your investments, or you got whatever, or you got dreams. Dreams are great. You got to have a dream to get anywhere. Look at it as a way to augment your salary at first. If you're making $5,000 a year in the markets and that's extra, it's still money, and you can grow that over time, or you could take that $5,000 and buy some big prop accounts and get in there and go for it. So there's a lot you can do once you learn this skill. It just takes time. All right, there's our Euro USD 5-minute chart, 920 crossover. I think this is going to come our way. I would stick with my 5-minute time frame right here. If you're going to execute this trade for the rest of the day, a couple of things that I would look at. Number one, that stop loss is going to be right beneath this swing low. I'm a big believer in market structure, swing highs and swing lows. I call them spikes, but that's okay. Where would your profit target be? That's really the $1 million question. I don't know. I would set this as a fixed risk versus reward. I wouldn't dawdle here. I would wait. I would believe in my stop loss. And if, in fact, we're already in oversold territory, if R9 crosses R20 going into the U.S. session or maybe a little bit later, then I would definitely be looking to go long. Now, that's going to probably mean that you're going to have to hold this thing over the weekend. I don't necessarily like to do that, but if you're up a little bit, you've made some money, and you can afford to hold that trade into Monday's open, you probably could get away with it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Let me see. Emmanuel, from our modules in the academy, you said 8, 9, and 21. Yeah, we used an 8, 9, 21 strategy, the 5, 8, 13. You can use all different kinds, but I really like the 5, 8, 13. Let me see. RH, the 920. I'm bouncing back and forth between the 920 and the 5, 8, 13. They're different strategies. Personally, I think they both work. I probably should just stick to one, but why? Why? Remember, all strategy is a tool for your tool belt. That's it. And that's when you get in there and you start making trades. I have a lot of strategies. I have range strategies, Fibonacci strategies, breakout strategies, pivot point strategies, trend following, reversal strategies. I really like this 920 with confirmation as being a potential good reversal strategy. The biggest challenge you'll have with this is knowing what to trade and when to trade it. Right now, I would be looking at Forex pairs with a strategy like this. Now you're using a 5, 8, and a 9. I'm not using a 5, 8, and a 9. Is it a good time to buy the Euro USD? Absolutely, but wait. Just wait. Wait until you get that crossover. Let me see, Calvin. Trading is the hardest way to make easy money, but once you learn the skill, you can and will change your life. I agree 100%. Yeah, I agree 100%, Calvin. I've been quoting Madonna. I'm a big music fan here. I like Madonna. I'm old, but I like old Madonna. If you know the notes to sing, you can sing most anything. That's the truth. If you know how to trade, you can trade anything all the time. Great session, guys. I'm glad that you joined me for NFP this morning. It's bright and early. I've been up since about 10 to 5 a.m. my time. It's a balmy 19 degrees. No, it's not even that. It's 12 degrees outside here in Dillon, Montana. Very, very cold. I love the winter months. Right now is prime time. We're going January, and we're going through probably the mid-May, and we're going hard. We get a few breaks in here, but this is the time of year when you can take your capital and grow it into something serious by summertime in the Northern Hemisphere. And if you're down under, that means that you're going to trade the summer hard and be set up going into the winter. I want everybody to be here, number one. At the end, July 1st, I want everybody here. Going into Q3 and Q4, I want our accounts padded, and I want to be able to roll into Q3 and Q4 ahead of the game, ready to make some of those lofty goals that many of us have, ready to make those come true. That's the name of the game. Good start today, guys. Good start today. Right here. This is no joke. The Kiwi hit. I was skeptical about it, but it hit. It went down as a winner, so if that one rode, then fantastic. This one right here, this gold trade, was an absolute beautiful thing. And remember, you don't have to know which way the market goes to make money. All you got to do is know when it's active and where to get in and out. Right there, bang, bang, beautiful scalp right there, beautiful scalp. And then you also had another one, and now the market's up and away, and we reevaluate our approach to the market. All right, everybody, good to see you. Great. We saw some old friends in the room, so good to see everybody back. I'm going to be back in the How to Trade trading room here coming up in about an hour, 6 minutes. We're going to do some more high-impact scalping. It's going to be the 10-minute strategy blitz. I haven't decided which strategy we're going to put out there yet. I don't know if we'll use Fibonacci's, but probably we'll use some Fibby retracements. And then also I'm going to focus probably on the 5.813 euro trade that we're looking at relatively closely. That's a wrap, guys. Have a fantastic trading day. Remember, if you just made a stack of money, there's no reason to give it back on the U.S. Open. Take it home with you. Go out to dinner. Maybe go have some fun this weekend because Monday, it's on. It is on. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic trading session. Trade the action well, and we'll talk soon. See ya.